So I just checked out all 5 episodes of Echo on Disney Plus. So how bad is it? Ugh. We're gonna talk about it. This is definitely a spoiler review. Yeah. So as I've talked about before on my main channel, movie facts with Anthony James. This show, they didn't want to. The Kevin Feige basically did not want this show to be put out, right? But yeah, there was it ended up I guess they come to a I don't know what you'd call, like a solution, I guess, if you will, of without losing money, a compromise, I guess you would say, and dropped them all 5 episodes, same day on Disney Plus. Yeah, and the media had seen, I think, 3 episodes. Yeah, 3 episodes. Yeah, so nobody had seen the final 2 episodes up until that night, right? Up until they all dropped around, like, I think it was like 8 or 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right? So they drop. Yeah, internet's talking about it. It's very mixed. It's not good. I'll admit, I watched the first two, maybe 2.5 or so. And I was like, okay, it's boring. It is boring, but it's not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be agenda pushing, like, woke this, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, she's a girl, she can do anything type of crap. And I'm like, okay, whatever. That's what I really thought they were going for. Yeah, it was just like Daredevil, first episode. Probably a very, very decent, cool fight. A blink and you miss cameo. I mean, Charlie Cox has played three separate projects in the MCU. Yeah, and this dude, I mean, come on, really? I mean, honestly, what the hell? Echo should have just been in the Born Again show, and that show is just a freaking having a lot of trouble itself. But she should have been there, right? That should have been the show, right? Not Echo. I'm sorry, Echo is not a main character in the MCU. Not in her current state. If they would have left Echo alone more, I mean, because they start introducing these like weird powers, and even the showrunner said she doesn't like the power set that Echo has in the comics, which is very much just basically Taskmaster. If you're a good fighter, she can copy a type of thing, which works great, and you think would be very budget friendly and very appealing. But no, now she's got glowing blue crap, and it was the name Akore or whatever. They just introduced in What If Season 2, the Native American character there. And too similar. I mean, they even do down to the blue glowing light power crap. Whatever, dude. Come on, really? It's all same old. And I saw yeah. I mean, I kind of thought myself. I was like, when they were doing the ancestors, are they just gonna show us like a live action version of What If, like a little bit of that What If character maybe? Is that what's happening? Is she like an ancestor too? And she's not. And then even the ancestors, I didn't realize this till I saw some stuff online. I guess they were like the one playing the game was meant to represent strategy, and whatever the one that was the marksmanship was supposed to, I don't know, something else. I mean, but none of this was clear. It wasn't good. I mean, but we know one of the main problems is this show is not meant to be just 5 episodes. So a lot of it's probably chopped down. From the jump. I think it was originally supposed to be 6 at one point, right? And then it got chopped down, a whole episode. Yeah, not even long episodes. These are not even hour-long episodes. So I could have seen okay, that's where the rest of the episode went. They were just kind of filling in stuff, that they had, with the other episode. And, they used stuff and just kind of, that type of thing. And the story feels very weird, all over the place, disjointed, but still boring, because just jumping around. And it's honestly, even 5 episodes felt like too much, right? I feel like they could have done 4 episodes and just hurried it along. I will say by far, Kingpin, best scenes. But honestly, that final fight, man, what a disservice they did to Kingpin. And yeah, and the final episode 5, that's when it gets really woke. And and if you notice up until a certain point, they're all white males, is all the antagonist of the whole the show, basically, right? I mean, yeah, of course, okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. Whatever, and they're all kind of, well, not all, but a lot of the Kingpin henchmen, but they are henchmen, are kind of dumb. And the guy with like the launcher, the rocket launcher, I was like, is that supposed to be somebody? I guess not, because he was in like 2 episodes and felt like he was like meant to maybe be a villain from the comic books, or a gangster type villain from the comic books. I don't think he was. If he was, I completely missed that, 100%. So yeah, and conveniently enough, Echo, all the ancestors are female, and her grandmother and her sister, she can give those powers to them too. They're all female. It's a big and female empowerment thing. And then Echo, the best thing she does, the coolest thing she does, that this actress, it's, you know, not really an actress, but you know, whatever. I mean, it could be worse. She could be way worse. I mean, people are really tearing apart her acting. I've seen way worse from actual actors and actresses. So yeah. So yeah. She basically just like touches Kingpin, I guess, and does some like mental Professor X fight on the astral plane type of stuff. And there you go. That's your end battle. That right there. That was cool. Yeah. Well, they run out of money. What happened? What was that? Seriously, man, come on. So yeah, that was lame. Yeah, super lame. We get an after credits Kingpin on the airplane. And he's running for mayor now, apparently. He sees some people on TV and yeah, gets the idea to run for mayor. Cool. So I'm assuming that leads into Born Again, right? Hopefully. And yeah, that's the show. That's the show. I will say, the cousin with the dog, I mean, a good comedy relief character. Even the, I guess what would he be? Not the uncle, but the older man that worked in the shop. He was fine. The uncle was fine too. I mean, they were all just fine, like very much like fine side characters, right? But the issue is, Echo herself just kind of feels like a side character still, and this made her feel more like a side character, right? I would have liked to have seen. Okay, we have especially if you're gonna do try 5 or 6 episodes, put Daredevil in, and at least 1 or 2 episodes, spend more time in New York. Maybe revisit Hawkeye really quick, maybe catch up with that somehow, something like that. I mean, hell, even though maybe like if you can throw in Kate Bishop or do something, just catch up with some more characters. I mean, Echo needed more established MCU characters, right? That Daredevil cameo was great, and then the Kingpin stuff was also cool. But you're really watering down Kingpin. He's been beaten twice by much smaller females. Although Echo is meant to be a fighter, but she didn't beat him by fighting. And his scenes were great. I will say the best part to come out of this is the Netflix stuff is like officially canon now. So at least that's going on. But Echo herself, kind of boring. Hard to get through, and then ends on a huge whimper, honestly. And I think was there a cookout at the end, like just like She-Hulk? That's what I was thinking. I was like, really? Like, come on. Is it as bad as Secret Invasion and She-Hulk? No, but that's bottom barrel television right there, so it's hard to get too much worse. But is it that much better? No, not really. It's fine. It is what it is. Yeah, and they even have to kind of catch you up on the Hawkeye show, because I guess they're assuming nobody watched it. So they're like, so why the hell are you gonna watch Echo? Day one drop Echo, and then What If was every day. So I mean, they're really just like, bam, bam, bam. As far as I know, that's it for MCU content right now, right? Until we get Deadpool 3, right? Yeah, so that felt weird. Just kind of like, I think maybe that made me think they're going in a different direction. Maybe. I don't know, I keep saying that, and then we keep hearing other stuff that doesn't seem like they are in other branches, like Star Wars and, Disney proper. That stuff is still business as usual, same old, same old. I think overall, the show suffered a lot from the showrunner, the people writing behind the scenes. Echo would work very well, straight from the comic books to the small screen in this case. That power set would work great, actually. Very, very well. And yeah, not very creative people behind the scenes, that's for sure. some people that are probably going to fill up and work on more things and ruin more of those things, because that's just how Hollywood works now. So yeah, not great. The acting from the main character, like I said, a lot of people are tearing her apart. I mean, yeah. And the American Sign Language thing, I will say I understand. That was, being in the show, okay. But geez Louise, that was like, that kind of like, took a lot of the, like, I guess, like, you were, like, I would kind of get into it, and honestly that, like, was not very exciting, I guess, if that makes sense. I think they would have benefited more from, like, less of that, maybe, somehow, because, I mean, maybe Echo just be able to read lips type of thing. I mean, I don't know, just insensitive, I'm sorry, but I mean, like, I'm just trying to think, like, from the show's perspective, right? Maybe that would have worked out a little better, and went on a little better. Kingpin had that technology thing at one point, but then we were still having to read subtitles. But maybe if there would have been like, her just reading lips, honestly would have helped a lot. And then maybe that would have helped, and then that would have probably helped a little bit more move things along, I guess. Because geez Louise, yeah. And holy crap, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're like mature, da 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 da. And you're expecting like something crazy, like some Punisher, Netflix Punisher level violence. Not even close. Like we see somebody get shot, under the chin there, and that was and then the guy in the roller skate arena, that place, he got shot also. And I mean, that was really as like mature violence as we got, really. I mean, there was just some typical fighting that wasn't anything like crazy. It was fine. So yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, more street level stuff. Would like to see it for sure. Love to see all that. But man, they gotta get some better people behind the scenes, because holy crap. Wow. And better picking. I will say Netflix picked more like what I consider to be main characters, right? I mean, you could argue maybe Luke Cage and Iron Fist could have been put in the same show, and be more of the Luke Cage with Iron Fist as like a about 30 to 40% type of thing, like with more Luke Cage. You could argue that. I mean, Daredevil and Punisher definitely were main characters. Jessica Jones, I would say she's a main character, right? Especially at that time. That was fun. That was interesting. But yeah, Echo, not so much. This was a miss. Honestly, if I had to rate it 1 to 5, gotta give it a 2. But honestly, that's mainly Kingpin. Honestly, man, that dude carried the scenes, all the shows. Really still memeing out about it when I was a boy. That type of crap. Really telling you about his childhood. Love the part where the interpreter, he says, "My father was also killed by me. Wait, don't you dare sign that." I mean, that type of thing. That was like, okay, that was good. Beating the dude up in the alleyway. Even killing the interpreter. That was cold-hearted. Wow, Kingpin. Way to make yourself like a freaking more of a villain, right? That was good stuff. And then Echo Maya herself, sadly, not the weakest. I would give that to maybe like the grandmother and sister for sure. But she's up there, right? She's like definitely not the strongest character even in her own show. Daredevil outshined you for that few seconds he was there. Kingpin outshined the crap out of you. Reminds you what a much better show the Daredevil show was, and what a much better street level stuff we were seeing at that time, right? So yeah, Echo. I mean, check it out if you want. I don't even know if this character will return. I honestly think she should have just returned and born again, and maybe done this whole give her like a mini arch in that, because it's supposed to be like a long as crap episode, and put her in that along with with Iron Fist and Luke Cage and maybe Jessica Jones and Punisher, likes people like that, some more street level people, maybe introduce some people, and yeah, do more of that stuff. But yeah, Echo herself, no season 2. We're good.